Yoshimitsu Yamada came to New York City in the spring of 1964 to teach at a small Aikido club in Manhattan. Aikido was a relatively unknown Japanese martial art. Even in Japan, teaching Aikido was not an option as a profession. Certainly not for a 26-year-old wild child who loved Elvis, Frank Sinatra, and opera, and who had just been training under the founder of Aikido for 8 years prior to packing his bags. In the course of those 50 years since he arrived in New York, Yoshimitsu Yamada has changed many lives. He made his dojo in New York home to thousands of Aikido students. They came from all over the United States and the world to study under him.
I sometimes consider myself not a teacher, some entertainer maybe, or conductor of the orchestra, I'm teaching art, so I have to correct them, instruct them, but more like I think my mission is create a good atmosphere so people can enjoy what they're doing. Be honest, when I left Japan, I said, oh my God, I will never be able to write rice again. But there's a rice in America, regardless,
I think they may have told him the streets of New York were paved with gold, because when he came here, I think he was surprised to find out he was going to be living in the back of the dojo and not have any kind of income at all and barely be subsisting. But the quality of his instruction was excellent, and it was a real treat to have him teach us and to walk up and down the mat and throw each of us personally and have us try to throw him. So we had a lot of hands-on instruction, a chance to feel Aikido as rather than just seeing it demonstrated, I think helps you with your training, because the opportunity to feel how your instructor moves, to feel the power of the movement, I think enhances the experience and enhances the quality of what you're learning. And that's what we got from Yamada Sensei in those early days.
Yes, any young generation at that time in Japan had ambitious or curiosity overseas. I think many different fields, singer, artist, whoever. So maybe, in their mind, in our dream, Japan is a small country, small island, let's go, boys should be ambitious, that kind of mentality. And Aikido was a good opportunity at that time. I created many Americans, friends through teaching Aikido. I say, okay, I like to go. They never say no. So I came by myself. Then I put a demonstration every day during the World Fair. After giving, I say, I give you a couple of years. That's why I left my home, my family in Japan. I just come by myself because I have no guarantee to make a living, no written contract. People after me, they had some kind of, they had some kind of strong judo federation, each country, European especially. But I was living in the dojo. And the old dojo, 19th Street, right? Yeah. I was living in a dressing room, tiny dressing room. But I was just completely free.
I think Sensei was really uniquely suited to come to New York, of all places. Who is, I think, a very big fan of American culture, especially music. He loved the kind of American songbook guys like Frank Sinatra, and Perry Como was a favorite of his. He kind of knew the culture through the music. And of course, Elvis. If you see some of those pictures that we have of a young Yamada Sensei in his teens, he really kind of modeled his look after Elvis. So I think that coming here to New York was absolutely perfect for him. You know, his personality is very cosmopolitan. He's a real city person, and while he's still obviously culturally very Japanese, he's very much a New Yorker.
A year or a couple of years after, I think we need a little bit bigger place. And at that time, this neighbor is nothing. You know, nothing but a warehouse, right? Yeah. That's why it's so easy to rent, cheap.
At that time, the dojo looked like nothing like it looks like now. It was really like Stillman's gym. And I never wanted to do judo. I never particularly wanted to do karate. I had a lot of respect for it, but the movements weren't free enough. I love boxing. And when I saw Aikido, very strange people that I had this take on it, but the movements were free like in boxing. You just move wherever you wanted, you know, and when I saw them, I just went, oh, I want to be like those guys.
At that time, Japanese Aikido teacher is very rare. Maybe I was the only one. I was going to Boston every Monday, taking the bus. Afternoon, I leave New York. After lunch, I arrive there 5, 6 o'clock. I teach 4, 5 people, practice in the corner of the gym. And after the class, 9 o'clock, 8 to 9, we buy something. I took a midnight bus back to New York. I commute every Monday. And Philadelphia, same thing, yeah. And Florida, yes, you know, took a Greyhound bus. And later on, you are involved already. We drive into Chicago or Youngstown. We just gradually, Aikido, you know, spread very slowly but deeply. But that's how we started.
Only Sensei could have pulled this off, you know, with his signature charm and his explosive style, and people began to seek him out. And the New York Aikikai became the birthplace of the United States Aikido Federation as Aikido was growing. And he brought in his former Uchideshi Evo Sensei, Kanai Sensei in Boston, and Chiba Sensei in the West Coast, and Akira Tohei in the Midwest, and then later Shibata Sensei. And together they built up this art that began to grow all over the place. And then when Sugano Sensei came to New York, every day was like a seminar at the New York Aikikai, and aside from Hombu, New York Aikikai became a destination.
Those walls hold the spirit of 60 years. You can feel it as soon as you walk in. The school has an unmistakable presence. There's the essence of Yamada Sensei, Sugano Sensei, Donovan Sensei, every one of us, alive and gone. You can feel the magic. We aren't going anywhere. And now with Yamada Sensei gone, he ensured the preservation of the New York Aikikai by appointing Steve Pimsler Sensei, our chief instructor, and through him and our talented group of instructors, we look forward to a long, vibrant future on 18th Street.
Yeah. Well, this dojo is based on people's contribution. That's our spirit. Simply, my student here practice very seriously. I very appreciate that. And that's a tradition. So, no wise guy. Well, I don't know how much longer I can, I'm around, but I do my best, I be hanging around as long as I can, and as I get older, I don't know if you see some difference in me. Just don't tell me I'm getting old, but it's natural. It's a bunch of people togetherness, big group, or some kind of conflict, misunderstanding, but we have to see on the positive side, that's the name of Aikido, That's kind of tradition. I want you to carry on for future.
Sensei always said that he valued the contributions of his students. Whether teaching class or cleaning the mat or running the board, community was essential to him. And by appointing Steve Pimsleur chief instructor, he assured the continuity of the New York Aikikai's traditions at our wonderful school on 18th Street. We miss Yamada-sensei. He was larger than life and cared deeply for the future of Aikido, making his mark with students who teach all over the world. As for the New York Aikikai, we continue to grow. So much talent in one place, we are still a destination. With hundreds of visitors a year, we can't wait to see you on the mat.